Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey and what you need to hear today. A little pop of tarot positivity to set us on a good course for the day. I know I like to listen to inspirational readers and speakers when I first get up to help motivate and enliven my day and, kind of co-create like this middle card, which I love. Nothing better than this self-love oracle too, to kind of just get us in that lovely headspace of relaxation and curiosity. So I love this listen to feedback because I remember, I think it was Eleanor Roosevelt that was saying nothing can make you feel small unless you allow it. So what you take from feedback and how you respond is entirely within your control. This could be within your family, a corporation, your neighborhood, whatever it is. It's like instead of feeling defensive or attacked, it's a lot of times it just is somebody's opinion or feedback. So feedback from people or situations around us is nothing to fear. It's really wisdom wrapped in experience. So everything we experience is a result of the choices that we've made, informing our present and future choices too. Sometimes we just get that from a facial cue, right? We'll say something, if it's witty and funny, people will smile and laugh, so on and so forth, right? We read those cues and clues, whether they are words or whether they are, expressions. I'm really big into body language. I tend to find if I'm in close proximity to people and our energy really vibes, we tend to lean into each other. We get closer. Our feet are pointed at the person that's speaking. So there's lots of that are out there. So the feedback we receive from others can be a mixture of good stuff that makes us proud and not so good stuff that troubles us. Comments on personal aspects of us or perhaps the quality of our work. We get feedback from strangers who don't know us at all, acquaintances who may think they know us, and close loved ones who know us better than we know ourselves sometimes. So we should use our discernment to know which opinions to pay attention to. So on social media, I'm always telling everybody, if you start a YouTube channel or you're on IG or whatever, I stay away from any kind of topics that just start a conflagration. I think there's enough opinions about everything out there. I like to just have everything kind of be light and bright. I get sad when people start commenting negatively on other people's appearances over on IG or on YouTube. It's not necessary, right? But people take that personally, especially younger people. So we should be as kind as possible. When we get uncomfortable feedback from a trusted source or are surprised by a difficult experience, it's useful to disengage our ego and learn what we can from it in a really kind of objective manner. This is especially important to consider if you keep getting certain feedback or meeting a certain type of person repeatedly. That can be people too that are just judgmental. We all know that. We all had that snarky friend in school, that would comment it. I remember bursting out laughing. There was this kid in front of me and I was in 8th grade, and the girl in front of him, she wasn't always nice to people, and so she came in one day with some just crazy hairdo, like she obviously was trying something she saw in Teen Vogue or something. And he's like, "I love your hair. I didn't know the City Dump was having a sale." And everybody burst out laughing. And luckily I had the mindset to think what she would be thinking, not so much about the funny quip that sometimes is deserved because she was snarky as well. But it's one of those things, right? We all have that snarky friend. So we don't want to take things personally. We just want to disengage. And important messages are going to continue to reappear until we stop avoiding or denying them and listen to, because it could be really good, great feedback. I know with my husband, he's so cute. I am a very messy artistic person where I leave my beads, I leave my paints, I leave my decks, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get to that. And I'm a Sagittarius. I have stuff everywhere. I love to create and have fun. And he's a Capricorn. He's very orderly, and it's almost like Virgo energy where it pains him if stuff is everywhere. So it's one of those things where he's like, "Oh, could you just put that over, in the other spare bedroom or whatever?" And now I do listen to that feedback. I'm just not like, "Oh, I'm an artiste and you will never understand." I'm like, yes, I understand that you can't even sit anywhere. I'm not kidding you, once where I took up both couches, the pulling, the dining room table, and the floor. I was laying out all my jewelry. I was just going like a whirligig, and he walked in and there was literally no place for him to even sit. And I was like, "Oh, I see your point of view," that kind of thing, right? Fortunately, we can learn to adjust our responses so that we start getting different feedback. We can teach ourselves to weather these difficulties and then decide how to respond. We are always in control of that choice, which is true. And I just choose not to be reactive or defensive because it's why then communication is not even taking place right there. Now I love this co-create. The artwork is so heavenly. Working with others creates new possibilities. Cooperative relationships lead to greater growth. Yeah, I just want to make sure it's focused in on that and I don't get the little waver. So you may be standing at the threshold of a new relationship or a partnership and wondering whether or not to dive in. Let go of your expectation of others and focus instead on what you can learn and bring to the collaboration. Get curious about the benefits as well as the drawbacks of this partnership and ask your potential partners to do the same. This clarity and honesty from you needs to be matched for all to be fair, right? It can be what people are going to invest in terms of time, resources, things like that, right? All relationships have the potential to bring out the best from the individuals involved when built on solid foundation. So be willing to take a good look at the balance between effort and ease, contribution and sacrifice, skill set and learning curve, right? Personalities and philosophies may also play a role. I've had lots of people that have gone in on projects with some people and they've done 99%. And, it's just one of those things where all of these need to be taken into account. So I think especially like personalities and philosophies, especially when it comes to managing these expectations. So set realistic goals, be kind, listen, be the ideal partner you'd like to have in every collaboration. I like to watch people in the kitchen together when they're cooking too. It's fun. Like some people might want all the fun, cool stuff, like, the flipping of the pancakes where the other people have to do all the mixing, just stuff like that. When doing things alone, we learn about our own abilities. And when we work with others, our abilities expand to include interactions, experience, the creative ideas of those with whom we work. So wouldn't you like to make the road ahead easier whenever possible? And wouldn't it be nice to make a friend or two along the way? Co-creation is a rewarding experience if we make it that way. So use this opportunity to expand upon your efforts and personal growth. Why go it alone when there's so much help at hand? And also get the ego out of the way, like I know more, I can do better, because then we kind of shut down listening. I'm really excited. Tammy, I just saw this thing on Tammy Faye Baker. So Sammy and I from Not Your Average Glow Up, I'm really excited. We're going to be doing a joint reading. We've been, trying to get it together, but I've just been having like a really wacky busy schedule because of what's just going on in terms of home and family and work. But I'm really excited about that because I love her outlook on life. I feel like we are soul sisters. I feel like, she is the fun adopted daughter or niece because she just has that zhuzh for life. I love learners. I adore learners that just want to go out there and figure out why things are the way they are and how we can better our environment, our children's, our neighbors, whatever it is. So super excited about that. And that brings us to changing your environment too. I do this all the time in terms of my readings. I will do it over in the back bedroom. I'll do it in my office. I'll do it in the living room. I'll do it outside. I'll do it at beaches. This is also like when I'm beading and doing things of that nature. I want to pull this right in the center and zoom in too, because again, it is some more fabulous artwork that is extraordinary and dreamy. So our environments support or undermine us. Give more attention to where you live, where you work, where you rest, where you play. Create surroundings that support you. I like clean, clear surfaces. I like color. I like fresh flowers. I sage spaces all the time. I just really love that because we're influenced by our environments, right? The air we breathe. I'll walk into a room and if like the door's been closed and if there's, all the cats were in there and whatever, and the air feels like stale or anything like that, I'm really affected by that. I love fresh air. I like a beautiful scent. I like certain just temperatures too, right? Not too hot, and I don't like to be freezing. Again, it's like the sounds that we hear, the furniture we use. I've gone outside and been all excited to do a read and someone starts their lawnmower and I'm like, nope, that's my cue to, that's distracting, that kind of thing. So the views as well. If I can see nature and trees and water. Yesterday I sat at the beach for like 2 hours and I literally pulled my chair right up to the sea's edge, put my feet in the water, and I got a whole display of Mother Nature at its best. All the horseshoe crabs were running around like crazy. It is so cool to watch. The water was clear, the breeze, it was absolute heaven. That really, really honors and supports my best self too. So put yourself first, make your environment match you instead of the other way around. I know I don't love like that weird, severe overhead lighting that you sometimes get in certain businesses. I like soft, mellow, and natural sunlight. So when you walk into your everyday environment, how does it make you feel? Do you feel cared for, or do you feel uncomfortable? Do you feel restricted, or do you feel relaxed? Again, I need lots of space as well. Do you feel put off, or do you feel welcomed? I remember this one time when I worked at Whole Foods, and I would always have my head up, and I knew when like shifts changed and new people came in, I had my head up to say, hey, and how are you? Like, I loved when people would do that for me. And it felt unwelcoming if everybody had their head in their phone, or they could still see you, but they were like, oh, my attention is on my phone, or just, it's just one of those things where it feels unwelcoming. I always feel like if we lift our head from our desk or wherever we are and we say hello, same when people enter our home, our family members, making them feel good too, right? Though it may seem insignificant, this feeling informs you of your daily experience, your contentment, your health, your productivity. Doesn't it make sense to follow your bliss on the outside too? So take some time to make some happy changes in your environment, stuff that makes you feel inspired, that makes you feel loved. This undertaking can lose any scope, and I didn't mean to say to lose any scope. It can take any scope that you feel comfortable with too. Sometimes it's just opening a window and being able to hear the birds. You know what I mean? You can start by bringing fresh flowers, plants. That really adds some life to your space. I love it. Other simple options are gorgeous art, photographs, things that soothe and encourage focus and declutter. And I love burning candles and using beautiful scents as well. And there's no need to really search any further than your own surroundings. Create a happy place where you are and where you live. I do know that clear surfaces kind of clear our head, so we can get rid of clutter like that. But something living like a plant. I do this one thing in my kitchen, and it mellows me out like nothing else. I get a big bamboo stalk. I have this lovely place up the road that sells them, and I get a clear, beautiful glass vase, and I put sea glass in the bottom, blue sea glass, and I put this single stalk of bamboo, and I keep that in my kitchen, and every time I look at it, it creates that simple, restful, beautiful energy, which I absolutely love. So my gorgeous skitties, that is what you are meant to hear today. Love and light to all of you. If you need a private read, just DM me over on Sparkrist11, and I get back to you within 48 hours of your read. I create, a video read just like this with your different cards explaining what's going on. I'm wishing you all well. Remember, to just check in with yourself. How are you feeling? And then maybe the whys. Look around at your space and see what's there and be like, I could just get rid of that laundry. I don't need that sitting on my dining room table. I could just do these dishes quickly and open a window and put some fresh flowers in here. Make your environment a reflection of how you want to feel, free, breezy, smelling nice, all of that, because you deserve it. So love and light.